the subconscious mind and how to reprogram it. So I just went to a movie recently, and they made the theme of the movie, or rather the villain, AI. And this was artificial intelligence that has gotten out of control. It's taken on a mind of its own, and it's going to take over planet Earth and subjugate humans. And this is the theme of a lot of movies. It's not an uncommon theme, and it's a fear on a lot of people's minds as people are talking about artificial intelligence in the news, in the government, in business, but all of the obsession about the artificial intelligence of computers, people are missing the importance of learning to keep their own AI under control. Of course, the AI that I'm talking about is the little artificial intelligence, the computer system that each of us individual persons has been gifted with, and that is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is not you. It is not the same as you. So when you receive thoughts from the subconscious mind, you are not to think that these thoughts are your own individual, unique thoughts that you have conjured up, and therefore they are the indication of who you really are. That is incorrect. Your subconscious thoughts are automatic. Subconscious thoughts are automatic. They run on their own system. So it is not something that you are directly controlling. That's the whole point. It's subconscious, meaning you're not consciously manipulating and controlling it on the day-to-day basis. So it just runs itself, but it's a beautiful gift. You see, your subconscious mind acts as an artificial intelligence because it in itself is not conscious, but it has this intelligence to it where it can sort of sort out data like an AI or a computer system, and it will give you what it thinks you need. It's intuitive, kind of like the advertising system on Google, where it gives you ads that it thinks you'll be interested in. And so your subconscious mind is using a similar system based on the past to give you information and bring up thoughts that it thinks you're into. So the reason it suggested that maybe you kill someone or to do the same thing to yourself is because you've suggested the same things in the past. And because you've thought those thoughts in the past, you figured, hey, maybe we can present these thoughts to you because it is really there to serve you. But so many people become slaves to their own subconscious. So many people become slaves to their own subconscious. But your subconscious mind is a gift. It is a system that was given to you for what purpose? Well, the subconscious mind takes care of all the busy work. Can you imagine if you consciously had to run your digestion system, run your endocrine system, your immune system, you had to run your blood circulatory system, you had to run your nervous system, you have to run all your personal emotions, you had to choose what emotion at every moment. It's too much. It's too much. So the subconscious mind is a system where it's subconsciously, meaning below your conscious understanding and awareness. It's in the background, making 11 million processes per second. And I'm glad those 11 million processes are being taken care of subconsciously, because I'm already overwhelmed. I don't know about you. I got more than enough to think about, right? So we don't need to have to run all of these systems, but these systems are needed. We need all of these systems. And so what's not understood about the subconscious is that it's actually running not only the digestion and the physical systems of the body, it is also running the mental system, specifically the emotional system. So your emotional system works like your nervous system. And so your nervous system is giving you data to help you to interact with the physical world, specifically pain and pleasure, right? And so when you feel painful sensations, usually that is to protect you, right? Does that make sense? When you get painful sensations, it's to protect you. Like if your hand is on a fire or on something sharp, the painful sensation goes through your nervous system, goes to your brain, and immediately signals you to have a knee-jerk subconscious reaction to pull away from the pain. Why? Well, because if you left your hand on a fire or on a blade, it would cause worse damage. So it protects you. Pain is for protection. It lets you know that there's something going wrong and that you need to give it attention. So even pain is a gift. Likewise, pleasure is there for your enjoyment, yes, so that you can get enjoyment out of life, but also to lead you to continue doing the things that would be good for your continued survival, for procreation, and so on. And so you feel pleasure when you eat food and do other things that are beneficial, generally speaking, beneficial to the self. And now, of course, we can miswire these things and start getting pleasure out of the wrong things. But then we have to learn to reprogram those systems, right? And so when it comes to the subconscious program of your emotions, it's running like your nervous system, so that pain is generally going to indicate that something is to your detriment. Now, again, please understand, pain itself is not harmful. Pain is not harmful. Pain is a gift. It is an indication that something else is harmful to you. But often it's the pain that we actually fear. So emotional pain may come when you lose a loved one. Someone breaks up with you, they leave your life, or they pass away. And so you feel emotional pain because the metaphysical system of the subconscious mind recognizes that you've experienced a metaphysical loss, which is a loss of a concept, something important to you in the energy realm, specifically your values. Because you valued that person, it is indicating to you that you've lost something that you value, which is detrimental to the metaphysical self, because the self is made up of the values. And so if you lose everything you value, then you lose yourself. And so it's doing its job to give you emotional pain to let you know, hey, something bad has happened to us. We've lost a piece of ourself. And when someone violates a boundary, even though the boundary is not physical necessarily, it's happening in the metaphysical realm. So your subconscious mind is running that emotional system. The emotional system is the nervous system of the metaphysical part of yourself, what you cannot see. And so it's saying, hey, someone's crossed us. They've crossed onto us. The boundaries are the borders of the self. And so it's letting you know someone has invaded the self. They've crossed the line, and you get metaphysical pain. And the problem is when we feel it in the physical sense, because when it converts into the chemical and then it drops as cortisol and adrenaline into our system, we feel so overwhelmed. And we go, what is this feeling? Why does it hurt so badly? I can't control it. But that's only partially true. You could say you didn't control it. You can say you didn't ask for these feelings. But saying that you can't control it implies that there is nothing you can do and that you are powerless. And when you make a statement mentally or verbally to yourself that you are powerless, your subconscious mind represents that as a violation of the self and gives you more metaphysical pain. So we don't do well to feel powerless. Of course, the pleasure works on the opposite system, which in when the subconscious mind perceives that something is in harmony with your values, it says, oh, great, we found something that's in harmony with our values, such as a person we value is giving us affection or giving us a praise and commendation. We say, oh, that makes me feel so good emotionally, because metaphysically in the idea realm, the energy realm, your values are being supported. So you get a pleasurable sensation. So understanding how the emotional system works helps us to recognize the need to have control over the subconscious mind, because you can program your subconscious mind. You can influence the subconscious mind. You get to write the programs. And it's at that level that you have some control over how you feel and how you will feel in the future. Again, you can reprogram the subconscious mind, and that will have influence as to how you feel now and how you will feel in the future. So if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with anxiety, if you have low self-worth, if you have low self-esteem, if you don't feel lovable, if you have trouble loving yourself, if you hate yourself, if you struggle with suicidal ideation, if you struggle with rumination, these things are cured by reprogramming the subconscious mind. And that is something you have the power to do. And I'm going to show you how to do it right here, right now. I'm going to teach you how to reprogram the subconscious mind. But you must recognize first, there is a separation between you and the subconscious. So what are you? If you are not your subconscious mind, then what are you? Well, you are the consciousness. You are a conscious being. So you represent a second part, a separate part of the metaphysical self or the mind. You represent the conscious, sentient being that is unexplainable, that is mysterious, meaning scientists don't have a way of quantifying or explaining how it is. We are what we are, and we do what we do, how we are conscious and having this discussion on this level where I'm just doing this and you're of your free will listening and I'm of my free will transmitting. Scientists can't explain why or how we're doing that. So it's the unexplainable conscious self, but that is what you actually are, which is immensely powerful. It is wholly spiritual in its existence. And so you have to recognize that. It is a miracle because it is unexplainable by daily conventional science. We don't know how this is working. But it seems like a gift, doesn't it? And so you must recognize your power. So take a moment to meditate on yourself as a conscious being, independent, able to float through this existence, able to interact with the physical realm and simultaneously interact on other levels. You are conscious, meaning that you have the free will to choose. And that's what's different between someone who's conscious and something that is not conscious. It's the level of free will to decide to choose, especially when it comes to judging in a moral sense for the self, when it comes to discerning. That is what you have, the free will to choose, to discern. So you, when I say you, I'm talking to the conscious being. And when I say you can reprogram your subconscious mind, I'm saying the conscious can reprogram the subconscious, which means that the conscious is to be the leader of the self. The conscious being is to be the leader. You are appointed as the king, the queen, the captain of the self. The subconscious mind is to be your subordinate. This is very important. When we feel like we can't control our emotions, it's because we haven't learned to check the subconscious mind and put it into the submissive position in which it belongs. The subconscious mind is to be subordinate to you. It is to work for you. Does that make sense? This is similar to how an assistant or a secretary would work for a boss. So picture yourself as a CEO of a company, and you have your assistant. Your assistant handles day-to-day responsibilities and tasks so that you can focus on driving the company forward. Likewise, your subconscious mind is taking care of the day-to-day tasks so that you, the conscious being, can drive your life forward. You are to be living in purpose, not to be merely trying to survive like an animal. There's so much more. So recognize that split. You are separate than the subconscious, and you are to be the boss. You are to be the boss. So the subconscious mind can be trained, can be reprogrammed. People talk about wiring the brain. But the brain is not really, it doesn't really work like a switchboard with wires or an automotive system with wires going everywhere. It doesn't work that way. The brain is described by neurologists as being more like a garden. So I want you to think about the parts of the brain that you would like to change, brain being synonymous with the subconscious because it's part of the computer system. And the part of the brain, the things about your mind, your subconscious mind or your brain that you would like to change, you want to think in terms of it being a garden. And so in a garden, when you have weeds, you would cut them out or pull them up by the roots. And when you have something that you want in your garden, you would plant a seed. And so likewise with your thoughts, when you think a thought, you are planting a seed. When you plant a seed in your mind and you want that seed to grow into a beautiful tree in your mind, you must be patient. Just like a garden, the seeds need to be cultivated. And it will take time through cultivation, through fertilization, to make that thought grow into a tree. So if you're trying to gain more confidence, for instance, and you would plant a thought into your subconscious mind, and the thought is, I am capable. You cannot give up the next day and say, I planted that thought yesterday that I was capable, like Roman said to do, and I still don't feel capable. I don't feel it. I don't feel capable. Would you plant a oak tree seed in the dirt, wake up the next day and then say, there's no oak tree, and just kick the dirt and dig up the seed? No. You would cultivate the seed. If you truly want the tree to grow, you're going to water it just enough. You're going to make sure it has exposure to sunlight so that the seed can germinate and a beautiful sprout will grow first, right? Just a small plant like my finger, and then it will grow into the size of my hand and a big tree trunk. And the next thing you know, you'll have a magnificent tree. And that is how the thoughts of the brain work. So we must first plant the thought in the brain. We need to cultivate that thought and over time allow it to grow into something magnificent like self-confidence. So you plant the thought, I am capable, I can, I am able, I am lovable. But then you feed it and give it sunlight. How do you do that? Well, you think of feeding, right? You have to give something more of what it needs, right? So how do we feed and water a thought? Well, probably by repeating the thought, right? So you go back and you say again, later on that day, I am capable. I am lovable. I can do anything. And then you go back again later that day and you repeat the same thought. I am capable. I am lovable. You start coming at it from different angles. I'm capable because the other day I did the so-and-so. I'm capable because such and such and so-and-so. When there's an opportune time, you will point out what has proven, what has happened in your life that proves the thought. Oh, I am capable because look at what I just did. I made dinner for myself. That proves that I'm capable. Or I just received a call from someone from my past that proves that I am lovable. And so now you're extracting more data to continue to feed and water this seed, this thought, to create the cultivation. How do we give it exposure to sunlight? Well, we're going to manifest this in our daily lives. We're going to manifest it when we talk to other people, in the way that we talk about ourselves, in the way that we talk to ourselves, and in our actions. We're going to do the things a capable person would do. And then over time, it will start to grow and sprout, and it will become a magnificent tree. And I do promise, if you cultivate the thoughts that you are capable and you are as good as everyone else, you will grow in your confidence. But this works for everything. So if you want to learn how to reprogram the subconscious mind, if you don't get anything else in your notes, get this word down: repetition. The subconscious mind is referred to by scientists as the animal brain. It would be good for us to think about it as an animal brain for a second, because it works on the same principles that animals do. For instance, if you have a dog and you want to train a dog to do something, do you just tell the dog 1, 2, 3, 4 times and then it learns? So if I want to train my dog to sit or to shake my head, I just say, shake, shake, shake. And then I give up and I say, it's awkward. It doesn't feel natural. He doesn't know. He doesn't understand. It doesn't work. Well, I mean, there's dogs that can do virtually anything, right? We got dogs that can turn on the television, that can use words to speak. They got dogs that can dance. They can walk backwards. They can do everything. How? Well, they're getting trained. So how do top trainers train their dogs to do all these different magnificent tricks and tasks? Through repetition and consistency. So if you're dedicated to dog training, you're going to go back again and you're going to go shake, 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 and you're going to keep going, and you grab his paw and kind of try to show him what you're doing, right? Walk him through it, right? Okay, shake until he tries. He's like, what is going on here? And he tries it. And then you're reinforcing. Good job, good boy, good boy. Oh, you did such a good job. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then what do? Are you done? No. You have to reinforce through repetition. That's how it's designed. And you're going to do it again and do it again and you do it again for days until the dog gets it. And then it becomes second nature to him for the rest of his life, right? And that's how it works when we train an animal. It also works that way when we train ourselves. The reality is you've always known this because you've trained yourself to do things before. How did you learn how to walk? You think you just got up one day, hopped up out of the crib, and just started strolling into the kitchen like, hey, Mom, what's for breakfast? That's not how it happened. It was a slow, gradual, arduous, uncomfortable process where you fell down embarrassingly multiple times and busted your head and cried. And you had to do it again and again and again, one foot in front of the other until you got the process. But the funny thing about it is if you pay attention, you will realize that your subconscious mind now took over your walking function. Did you catch that? Your subconscious mind now took over the walking function. What happened there? How? Because the subconscious mind was trained. How? Well, through repetition. It was just that you kept walking and walking and walking. And by the time you kept walking so much, the subconscious mind recorded what you were doing. And then it said, I got this. Why? Because it's a gift. It's a beautiful gift. The subconscious mind does that with everything. The subconscious mind runs your talking function where you don't have to think as hard anymore about how to put words together. After you practice a language, the subconscious mind picks it up. Your subconscious mind learned how to drive. If you know how to drive and you've driven for years, your subconscious mind now drives for you. So you have your own autopilot. Now, I'm not advocating that you don't pay attention while you're driving, but isn't it true that you can zone out? And you probably have zoned out before while you were driving, and you wake back up, like your eyes have been open the whole time, but you come to conscious awareness that you're driving, and you may be miles from where you were before you realize, what am I doing? I wasn't even paying attention that I was driving. In fact, this happens so often, you might not notice it until something goes wrong, such as you missed your turn, or you drove yourself home when you were supposed to go to the store. You see, what happened? Well, the subconscious mind knows how to take you home. Why? Because you do it all the time. The repetition is the practice. It's the reinforcement. You have trained the subconscious mind, so it is now doing its miraculous job. It is working for you, so you don't have to think about it. So you're thinking about how the boss said such and such at work and your boyfriend, and you're thinking about your kids and you're stressed. And the next thing you know, you're at home and you're like, oh, I was supposed to stop at the store to get some dog food. What did I do? And you'll even yell at yourself. I'm so stupid. No, you're brilliant. That's why you got yourself home, despite the fact that you were thinking about everything except driving. You got home in one piece. and you didn't kill anyone along the way, which is a miracle. And that is how amazing your AI is. Your subconscious mind can learn anything. And you know those professional athletes, they train their subconscious mind to do their job. And so although they are locked in, they're consciously aware, the reason they're able to pull a move so fast that you wouldn't even have thought of is because they drill and 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 they go to practice every day. While you're at work, they're at practice. Practice is just subconscious mind and body training. That's all it is. And the majority of it is mind training because they're already fit. The body's there. So it's about 80% mind training, and that's what they're doing in practice. And they shoot the ball, and they shoot the ball, and they shoot the ball, and they shoot, and they practice and practice and practice until the subconscious mind becomes a finely tuned machine. How do they do it? Through repetition and consistency. So you can program your mind through repetition and consistency. So look at your negative thoughts because they're holding you back. It's the negative thoughts that are fueling the anxiety, fueling the depression, fueling the low self-worth, the low self-esteem, that are holding you back from achieving your goals in life, to making more money, to getting the promotion, that are causing you to go into the same relationships with the same abusive people or underachieving persons. It is your thoughts, your subconscious thoughts, and your subconscious mind, like an animal, is parroting, like a parrot. It is repeating to you what you're feeding it. So if you've been feeding it a diet of, I'm not good enough, I'll never be successful, I'm too old to achieve my goals, or I'm too young to achieve my goals, or I always mess things up, or others are smarter than me, I'm not as talented as everyone else, I don't have what it takes to succeed, I'm not lovable, I'm ugly, I hate my hair, I'm not worthy of success or happiness, I can't change my circumstances, there's nothing I can do, I can't. Then don't be surprised when your machine repeats that back to you. And you're sitting there one day thinking about, well, you know, why am I having this trouble in my life with this work or this job? And your subconscious mind will tell you, you're not worthy. You can't. It's doing its job. It doesn't know any better. Stop being led by the subconscious. It's just repeating to you what you've been teaching it. And in childhood, it's trained by the parents. So some of us started off on the wrong foot to start with because we had parents that were battering us and emotionally, verbally abusing us. So then the subconscious mind is still battering us and emotionally, verbally abusing us into our adolescence and adulthood. But if you train your subconscious mind to abuse you, it will do it, but it's still abuse. Self-abuse is still abuse. Talking to yourself badly, it's abuse. So stop being the abuser of yourself. You've been through enough. Haven't you? You've really gone through enough. So let's switch this around. Let's utilize what we know about reprogramming the subconscious. So what are you going to do? You tell me. What are you going to do? If you're having these thoughts, you got these kind of thoughts, and you're having the results, which are negative results, tell me, what are you going to do? How are you going to reprogram the subconscious mind? As we've discussed here, the key is what? Repetition, consistency. So how do you reprogram the subconscious mind? How do you reprogram these thoughts that it's parroting back at you? Well, you got to go in and you need to repeat to yourself using repetition and consistency. You need to repeat to yourself things that are going to be beneficial instead of these detrimental ways of thinking. So we need to start repeating to ourselves things that are going to be beneficial instead of these detrimental ways of thinking. We need to repeat to ourselves what's beneficial. Like what? Well, I am capable, I am lovable, right? And what do survivors say sometimes when we get here? They go, I don't feel that. It doesn't feel right to me. To say I'm capable, say I'm lovable, I got to be honest, I don't feel that. It's not what I feel. Or I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's true. And I don't want to lie to myself. So then what? Well, to them, I'd ask this question. If a child comes up to you with a picture that they drew and they show you the picture, are you going to look at the picture and say, it's kind of mid, I mean, I guess for someone your age, and toss it back at them because that's the truth? That's not how we talk to children, is it? How do you respond when a child shows you a picture that they drew? You respond like it's a masterpiece, don't you? Oh, wow. Hey, oh, and what's that? Oh, this is so good. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. Good job, you say. Well, how come you're not concerned about the truth? How come you're not concerned about the way you really feel? It's because you intuitively understand that you would damage the child's subconscious programming. That you would damage his self-esteem and self-worth if you said those things that are supposedly true, which are really just negative. If you say something negative to the child, it's damaging. So pay attention, because you still have the inner child. It didn't go away. It's still inside you. It's the same brain you had when you were a kid. It didn't go away. Like, just because the outside world calls you an adult doesn't mean you're still not that developing organism that you were as a child. So parent your inner child. And instead of saying, well, I'm not going to say anything that's not true, and I'm not going to say anything I don't feel, pay attention and protect the subconscious mind of that inner child. Protect the emotional well-being of that inner child and stop abusing it and saying, oh, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel I'm that great. That's not humility. That's self-abuse. It's not about what you think is true. It's about what is beneficial. So program your mind to what is beneficial. Program your mind to what is beneficial to the self. Not what you feel, not what your mother told you, not what everyone else says. It doesn't matter what everyone else says. What is beneficial to you? Does it work to your benefit to tell yourself that you're lovable? Just go there with me. Would it be to your benefit? Yeah, it would help. If you believed you were lovable, it would benefit you in every way. All the research proves that. We know that. So give yourself what works. Give yourself the beneficial thoughts. When a professional boxer goes into a fight, his team doesn't say, well, we want to be truthful with you. I don't really know if you really have a chance in there, and you're probably going to lose the championship tonight, and there's a lot of probability against you, and that guy's really strong, and he's really been. They don't talk like that to the champ when he goes. No, they say, you're the champ. You're the champ. You got this. You can do this, right? Why? Because that's the only chance the person has of actually succeeding. They tell him what will be to his benefit. So train your mind according to what will be beneficial to your mind. And you say to the mind, you are capable, or I am capable, or you are lovable, or I am lovable. Speak to yourself. Speak to your subconscious. Speak to the computer system, the AI. Speak to the inner child and give it a new program with repetition. With repetition, you can achieve anything. You can achieve anything. You can do anything you set your mind to. You are capable. You are lovable. You are beautiful. Oh, that every failure is a stepping stone towards success. Oh, age is nothing but a number. It doesn't define your ability to achieve your goals. Mistakes are just learning opportunities for growth. You have the courage to face challenges and overcome them. Tell yourself that. I have unique talents and skills that contribute to my success. I have unique talents and skills that contribute to my success. I am one of a kind. I am unique. There is no one like me who has ever existed. No one like me who will ever exist. Build yourself up. Why? Because it's beneficial. It's beneficial for you to believe that. I deserve success and happiness. I would be a better person to be in that position of power or leadership. I possess qualities necessary to achieve my goals. I have the power to create the life I desire. Success is not limited to luck. It's a result of hard work, dedication, perseverance. I am everything I've wanted to be, everything I need to be. I can do this. I can. I can heal. I can succeed. I believe in myself. Plant the seed, but cultivate the seed by reinforcing it and call to mind every supporting situation that gives evidence to water it and put sunlight on your seed by exposing to the world that this is who you are, manifesting it through your actions, through your speech. You can communicate to your subconscious mind, but use repetition. What are the means of communication through to your subconscious mind? The subconscious mind takes in what it sees, visualize. It takes in what it hears, verbally, auditorily. It takes in what you do, the physical practice. It takes in what you read, and it can hear your telepathic thoughts. The subconscious mind can hear all of that communication, the telepathic, the audio communication, the read written communication, the visual communication, right? So those are the ways that you speak to the subconscious mind. By protecting what you listen to and listening to things that are going to build you up. If we're talking about someone else in your life who is negative, cut them out. Because if your subconscious mind cannot hear more than 15% negative criticism, anything more than that's too much. Keep it 80% positivity and neutral. It's got to be beautiful, right? Because you're cultivating a beautiful garden. So you're not going to let in something toxic, some poison. Absolutely not. Visualization. Pay attention to what you're watching, what types of people are around you, what behavior you're observing, and what you watch on television and in the movies. Because your subconscious mind learns through visualization. And you can use visualization to reprogram the subconscious mind by repeatedly visualizing yourself acting in the way that you desire to act, being the person you desire to be, showing up to any circumstance and knowing how to say the right thing or act in the right way or stand in the right way. Visualize it again and again and again. And through the repetition, you are retraining your subconscious mind. The written word, subconscious mind learns through what it reads. So protect your subconscious mind by not reading any text messages or emails from a narcissist. Don't read things that are false, that would tear you down or work against a beneficial view of reality. No. Only read things that are going to build you up. Books by authors that are motivating and inspiring. Read information that is true and accurate, that's going to edify the mind. And put the block on everybody else. Go through your text messages. Find the negative people. Find the block function. Block them. Every program has a block function. Every messaging program. Use it. It's not to be mean to them. It's not to punish them. It's for you to protect the mind, to protect the garden of the mind that you are cultivating. And then finally, you can speak telepathically to your subconscious mind. So without moving your mouth or anything, you can just talk to yourself in your brain. It's telepathic communication. So talk to your subconscious mind and repeatedly tell it that you're capable, that you're lovable, that you're wonderful, that you're beautiful. Anything that will be beneficial for you, that's what you do. That's what you tell it. And work against that old programming. If you do those things, you will change the state of your mind. If you change the state of your mind, you will change reality, because your mind is the matrix. The mind is the matrix of reality. And so it will change the way you act. It will change the way you look, the way you feel, which will change the way that you're interacting with the outside world, which will shift the way the outside world interacts with you. And you will actually make a change on the universe. So thank you in advance for everything you're going to do for us, because we're looking forward to seeing you at your best.